Back in December 2023, Epic Games really kicked their metaverse vision for Fortnite into high gear. During this month, 3 new games were launched within Fortnite to accompany Save the World, all the creative mode slop, and of course Battle Royale. Those 3 modes were of course LEGO Fortnite, Fortnite Festival, and Rocket Racing, which I will circle back to later, don't worry. At the time, these modes were pretty neat little distractions. It was clear that they were only just getting started. They've since gotten a bunch of updates over the past year that have greatly improved upon what was available to us at launch. LEGO Fortnite has gotten fishing, cars, Star Wars, Klombo, a final boss in the form of the Storm King, and a bunch of other stuff. Festival has just been pumping out new jam tracks every week to play, along with a bunch of other additions and quality of life stuff like the battle stage and Hatsune Miku. All of that has been really cool, and I honestly enjoy both of these modes a great deal. Also, the summer of 2024 introduced Reload, a new faster, more action-heavy version of Battle Royale. And just recently in December 2024, we got the launch of Ballistic, OG, and LEGO Brick Life. Bottom line, there is a ton of stuff to play in Fortnite even if you don't want to play the main Battle Royale mode. I've had a ton of fun playing all of these modes and seeing all the cool updates they've received. Except Brick Life, I don't know, it's not really my thing and I think it needs more work. But let's go back to that circle I mentioned earlier, Rocket Racing. Throughout 2024, this mode sorta got updates, but it was clear LEGO and Festival were receiving a bit more attention as the year went on. Also, just taking a look at the player counts showed that Rocket Racing wasn't exactly getting a lot of players. Now, before I go beating this dead horse further, I just want to say that I do enjoy Rocket Racing. I think it's a fun little racing game with a lot of untapped potential. I played it quite a bit at launch and it slowly fizzled out for reasons I'll get to soon. But yeah, like with all 3 of the 2023 newborns, it was clear the mode needed work. Updates did steadily roll out in the coming months with stuff like new cosmetics, new tracks, and the speedrun game mode. Even with all the new stuff, Rocket Racing still did not have the biggest player base. By the time summer rolled around, updates were getting sparse, and while that was happening, all of the other modes kept trucking along business as usual. The game mode did get some attention in the big Metallica collab in June, however. It was mainly just the one new track, but it was a really cool new track. Then in July, Rocket Racing got what was pretty much its last real update until today, Season 2 Inferno Island. This update just mainly reset the ranks and added a handful of new jungle-themed tracks. Yeah, not really anything else, but new content is new content. I know I'm jumping around a bit here, but fast forward to October 12th, 2024, Rocket Racing was then pretty much put in its grave. Honestly, I don't think anything of note happened in between July and October. Inferno Island was dropped, and that was kind of it. By that time it dropped in July, it was already pretty clear that the game mode was kinda being ignored. But yeah, October. With the 31.40 update, aka the Fortnitemares 2024 update, it was suddenly announced that the Rocket Racing ranked period was resetting and that themed updates were coming to a close. No Season 3 or even any new tracks, just a rank period reset and new quests for some new cosmetics. The game mode was pretty much killed that day, and as of now in January 2025, I don't think there has been any real update for the mode since October. That blog post announcing themed updates were coming to a close, aka, hey, we're not going to support this anymore, was the last blog post to this day it has dedicated to Rocket Racing. With that, I think the history lesson is pretty much done. Rocket Racing's history is pretty short and uneventful, all things considered. Of course, the question everyone is asking right this very moment is, why did this happen? Well, for shits and giggles, let me show you this line graph of Rocket Racing's player count starting from December 2023. Yeah, that's not very good at all. There's not really anything else for me to add here. Well, what about the gameplay? I haven't even mentioned that yet. Without going into too much detail, it's fine. Your car controls fine. Drifting feels fine. Using your boost is fun, and yeah, that's about it. The gameplay works It's fine. But that is also kind of the problem. There isn't anything too crazy that makes rocket racing really stick out in its genre. It is just racing for the most part. There isn't anything too crazy or goofy going on, and Fortnite is known to kind of put their own spin on things. And speaking of Fortnite, this game is mostly known as a battle royale shooter game, not a racing game. That alone is a huge obstacle to overcome, and Rocket Racing simply did not do that at all. If people want to play a fun, casual racing game with friends, they will 9.5 times out of 10 just play Mario Kart, considering that game has sold a Brazilian copies. Imagine Mario Kart without all the fun characters, personality, art style, and items. That's basically Rocket Racing. Yes, the gameplay is solid, but you need more than that to stand out. A lot more. I just now realized I haven't even talked about the tracks, and well, actually that makes a lot of sense. While fun in the moment, mostly, these tracks are honestly just very forgettable. All of them share the same 3 to 4 aesthetics, which really doesn't help. I mentioned the Metallica track earlier because that one was actually very well designed, hype as shit, and had a very unique aesthetic. The rocket racing music is fine enough, but that'll never compare to listening to Fuel while a giant James Hetfield stares at you in the background. Battle Royale has had countless unique biomes and structures throughout its history that assets could have easily been pulled from. Instead, the main theme is just a desert, an empty, lifeless desert. And then there's some grasslands and jungle tracks and maybe some cities sprinkled there. And there's like 10 of each of them, so they all just blend in. So yeah, altogether, there just isn't anything too amazing about Rocket Racing's gameplay. It's still perfectly functional and fun for a little bit, but there's not a lot of replay value or reason to grind Rocket Racing. And for all of these reasons I just listed in a semi-coherent manner, that is why this line graph looks like this. Honestly, before doing some of this research and really thinking about it, I didn't exactly understand what made Rocket Racing fall from grace so quickly. But after looking at all these reasons, it's clear to understand why. Every game mode in Fortnite has at least something in it that helps it stand out, whether that be fun and unique gameplay, or just having that silly Fortnite charm. Rocket Racing just simply does not have any of that. I still believe that the game has loads of potential, and I would love to see it become a success, but it seems Epic Games isn't willing to take those kind of risks anymore. They've had to stay competitive in the live service games market, as well as make up lost cash from battling Apple and losing lawsuits and other legal junk. From a business side of things, why continue development of Rocket Racing when it would be so much easier and beneficial not to? As I sort of went over earlier, Fortnite really leaned into the shooter game side of things with the new modes introduced in December 2024. The little icon for Fortnite in the Epic Game Store and consoles and stuff all feature the main 4 shooter game modes now, too. It's upsetting to see this game mode that was really hyped up and meant to be a big part of Fortnite be completely buried and thrown under the bus. But I get it. It's been 3-ish months since anything new has really happened with Rocket Racing, and I hope it gets another chance eventually. I guess since I just semi-harshly criticized the game a lot, let me give some suggestions for what I think would make Rocket Racing a more solid game that could attract more players. For starters, Casual Racing was a mode added a bit after launch that just let you do races without gaining or losing your rank. Honestly, it's pretty lame and barely serves a purpose when you can already select a racetrack in the Discover menu to play that also doesn't affect your rank. I think it would be way more fun if the Casual Racing mode had funny items to use, similar to Mario Kart. Yeah, it would make it more similar, but they could pull items from Battle Royale to make it have that unique Fortnite charm. This would make ranked and casual racing actually different, and just make the gameplay more fun. Second, don't know how to say this, but make better tracks. The layouts are fine, honestly, but as I said earlier, the look and aesthetic of the tracks need to be way more unique. And yeah, it would be so easy just to reuse assets from previous Battle Royale seasons in order to make some really distinct looking tracks that could also inspire some gameplay twists on those tracks. One thing I loved about the Metallica racetrack was that it was just one big road. There were no laps, you just raced to the end. I don't think any other Rocket Racing track has done that, which makes no sense to me. Having a handful of really big, grand tracks would be a really fun change of pace, and I think would improve replay value. Last thing I'll throw out, because I could go on and on forever, would be to add more things for you to interact with during a race. Right now, you can drive on the road, the off-road, fly for a little bit, die in the weird hazard zones, or hit a little boost pad. Different boost pads with different strengths could be fun, or just a bigger variety of obstacles like oil slick that make your car harder to control, rather than halting your momentum and immediately forcing you to respawn like those little danger zones. I don't know. Like I said, there is loads of potential with rocket racing and so many ways to fix and improve upon the rather solid foundation they've already built. It's sad to see all this hard work be forgotten, and I'm sure the team behind it feels the same way as well. Hopefully some news comes in the foreseeable future. It would be really cool to see rocket racing make a crazy comeback. Until then, I guess we can just keep getting new wheels from doing ranked quests. Whoopee. And with all of that said, I think that's pretty much everything I have to say about this silly little racing game mode. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and have a good day.